Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis' Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner, and welcome to Movie Mondays. Happy Easter to you all if you celebrate. Today, we are going to do a movie review. I haven't done one in a little bit because I've been busy with some interviews, and I have another one coming up as well this week. So that will be up next week, probably on Sunday. But we're going to be talking about the new film by Adam Wingard, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. The next entry, the fifth entry into the MonsterVerse by Legendary Pictures. So, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, my opinions on this film, then you best be watching still. Before we jump into things, please make sure you like this video if you enjoy movie-related content, and hit that subscribe button with that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video, because if you don't, how else are you gonna know? You won't, so you should probably do it. Also, in the description box below, there is a link to my Patreon. If you go and click that, you can join for $1 a month. You get early access to all of my videos. You get the unedited, raw footage of everything. Nothing is left out, so special little treat for you there, and you get creative control over all of my content on this platform. So please click that link, join the friend zone, $1 only. I would really appreciate it. Show that support. Love you. Thanks. But otherwise, let's just dive right into this review, shall we? So Godzilla X Kong New Empire is an action-packed Saturday morning cartoon that ends up pulling at your heartstrings. This film is elevated to new heights with the fantastic visuals that they use in this film, and especially compared to the rest of the films in the MonsterVerse. The CGI that they use, that is integrated in with the practical elements of this film, it is beautifully done. It is so nice. I won't say it's Dune level, but it is really, really, really well done. It is visually fantastic. It is just a fun ride to be on from start to finish. Now, while I love the visual choices that we went, and like the redesigns of both Kong and of Godzilla, especially Godzilla, the pink is just... the way that they actually bring about making him pink too is so good. I love it. Scar King as a villain, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. They give a backstory to him where Godzilla ended up actually defeating him before. So why he has a bit of trouble now when he's like supercharged, no, I don't know. Somehow magically just can't on his own. However, Scar King did provide something new to the film where the villain is actually very intellectual and extremely agile. That was one weakness that Kong had. Like, while Kong is relatively fast, and he's definitely faster than Godzilla, Scar King was faster than Kong because of how skinny and agile he is. So that does pose a bit more of a threat. Shimo is also a great addition into this film. While very sidelined as a villain, the times that Shimo is on screen, she does have some great visual aspects to her. The constant frost that comes off of her, instead of just having a beam of energy come out, it's ice. It's just pure beam of ice. It's literally, let's use ice beam. It's so cool, and I love how Shimo looks. I love a good giant spiky lizard monster. There was a surprise monster as well that shows up, I would say 2/3 into the film. I'm happy that this monster did show up in this film, so good job for you. But going back to Shimo for a sec here, visuals and just like the power set and everything that Shimo has rivals that of even Ghidorah. Like, Ghidorah had the lightning and the clouds, Shimo has the ice and the frost and just the cold. It was really nice to see, especially going to that beach scene that you see in the trailers. Seeing somewhere that's not supposed to be cold instantly start turning cold, yes. Sugo was also a nice addition to the film as well. I found Sugo played a bigger role in this film, especially to Kong, and it was nice to see the dynamic between them, showing that no matter what Sugo does, around or even to Kong. Kong is there to be kind of that supportive, adoptive parent in a way and show constant care and is basically teaching Sugo along the way. And it provides a nice little setup for possibly a Son of Kong film in the future. As for the human characters in this film, I enjoyed them for what they were. They were definitely more of a secondary portion of the film, and they were really in the film to either flesh out the storyline a little bit more between the monsters, but they were basically there just to provide support and assistance to the two main titans the entire time. They very much pulled the human characters back, put them on the back burner, and let the monsters up at the forefront to lead this entire film, which I did not hate. Now, while I absolutely love how these films look and definitely play out in the end, there are some flaws that I can't help but not overlook. One of which being the very, very obvious product placement. There's literally one scene where Rebecca Hall's character of Irene Andrews tells her daughter to get in a car, and then they show a backed up shot of this red Volkswagen car, but the way it's parked, the way it's shot, it was very much that of a commercial. But like, think that one scene in Thor Love and Thunder where Thor has the lightning bolt and then he just like big orb and disappears. It's very much shot like that, but as a commercial for the car. Another criticism that I have is Scar King's weapon. There's not really an explanation to it, and if there was, I overlooked it because of the people who were constantly talking behind me or taking pictures with the flash on it with their phone. Why you're doing that, I don't know. But like, Scar King has this, I guess, spine around him, but there isn't really an explanation as to what this spine is or where it came from. There's like a blue thing at the end. I don't know if it's like a Godzilla spike, if it's a crystal, if it's just something else, but he kind of uses it as like a wand, and I just kept getting like Voldemort vibes because he was just like throughout the entire film when he was using it, so it was very much giving Voldemort. But there wasn't really, I didn't hear, or I don't very much remember there ever being an explanation for this weapon and how he got it, where it came from, why is it used the way that it is. The random psychic abilities all of a sudden that are in this film, very odd. It very much comes out of nowhere. Why all of a sudden we have psychic abilities? I don't know. But now I guess we're diving into more fantasy land. There was too much comedy, I found. That's another criticism. Too much comedy. There's a fine line between how much comedy you should have. This was definitely too much. Way too much. The soundtrack also kind of seemed a little out of place, but that also kind of goes hand in hand with the comedy, because this song choices that were played at certain times were kind of supposed to be comedic, and it kind of just took you out of it a bit. And then my final criticism is that the final battle with all four titans, it was very short-lived. It could have been longer. I found the Mechagodzilla fight seemed longer. Definitely the Ghidorah versus Godzilla fight was much longer for sure, and especially the Mutos versus Godzilla, Kong versus the Skullcrawlers, those were good ones too. But this, it just seemed like it was very quick to start and very, very quick to end. It's almost like, oh, I forgot we have to do this now. Let's shove this in right here and then resolve it. That's kind of how it came off. It most likely wasn't like that, but that's just kind of how it came off. The final thing I'm going to say is that what I miss most about this universe was in that first Godzilla film, where it was very serious in tone, very dramatic, and I miss that. I don't want there to be too much comedy, or basically I don't want there to be any comedy. Maybe like dry humor to kind of like, you know, like make the best of the situation that you're in type of comedy, but I don't want it to be that in your face, oh, you should probably laugh type comedy, because then that starts to take out of the seriousness, that tends to take out of the more frightening aspects of what this universe is, which is essentially people running for their lives because there's giant, enormous monsters rampaging through your town or city, destroying everything around it. That's a scary thing, but you're making it very light in tone, and that's not how this universe started. So I think for future films, we need to somehow find that balance of having those serious tones and those frightening aspects that were very prevalent in the first film, merging well with those action-packed and visually exciting scenes at the same time. So with all of that being said, I'm going to be giving Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire an A-. It is fun. If you enjoy just crazy, go all out destruction monster films, you're probably going to enjoy this. This was still a fun adventure to go on, and I think anyone who goes and sees this is not going to regret spending their money on this film. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure you give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I post weekly videos, and hit that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video, because if you don't, how else are you going to know you won't? So do it. I'm going to get ready for my interview. Going to make sure everything is nice, set up, ready to go. I'm going to be interviewing Nicola Wright. She starred in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Yes, I am still on this Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 train. Get over it. If you're not a fan, well, too bad, because she's here to stay. She played Christopher Robin's mother, and I'm excited to find out some behind-the-scenes info. Basically give my staple questions along with curated questions for specifically her character. So hopefully you stay tuned for that on the channel. I will see you on the next video, but until then, goodbye, friendships.